Namo Namaste. O you Prilimba Viparita Madiprabodhan, Nadan Prilimba Viparita Madiprabodhan, and Vizatvadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipata Tam Anandati Tamunivayam Namami. Pujyaya Rahavendraya Satya Dharma Rataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadenuve Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavadidamastu ma Vishvidavahaihi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome friends again to the second adhyaya of Kathopanishad. See, we had some glitch, because of course we have set right that glitch. So we will be proceeding with our proceedings. See, yesterday we have seen the first mantra of the second adhyaya, first chapter. That in your page 85, because which I referred to, same thing we are continuing because we have covered only the part of the mantra. That is the first two lines of the mantra. That is the first sentence of the mantra we have covered. The second sentence of the mantra, though we have recited, we have not covered the full import of it. We will go for that. So before that, just to keep ourselves, because initiated into what we have discussed last week, we said the first mantra said Paranchikani Vyatharana Swayambhuhu, because the Paranchikani, because the Paranchi is a word which shows, which is everything external to you, because other than yourself, whatever is external, the environment, the objects, the things, and as well as whatever you are seeing, because when you are able to feel, because that you are able to see, you are able to hear, you are able to feel Sapta Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, all the feelings you are giving, this is the experience of the world we get. But Paranchikani, because these are all opened up, because for us, to have all these Tanmatra, Sapta Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, by virtue of which we are getting it, Vyataranat, because they are all has been made in such a way that they are all our senses, because these Tanmatras are through our senses. This Sparsha is through the skin, Sabda is through the ears, Rupa is through the eyes, and Gandha is through the nose. Sapta Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. Rasa is through our taste. The taste is the tongue, but it has got two important aspects, because the tongue is the one and which finally expresses. When you are able, when you have got the faculty of speech, when you are able to speak, it is able to give us that, and so that through that we are able to interact with the world, and then we are able to get the experience and get whatever we want, as well as if we desire knowledge of the objects, things, and other things what we want, we are able to get. Why Upanishad is telling it is something which we all know, even a child knows, because our own children in the house we have been bringing up, and they have been trained to have all these things. They know it, because the palm of their hand. What is the why Upanishad has to tell? Why it is telling is, as far as you are concerned, all these things are concerned with the external things. If nothing external is available, you can't have it. Supposing if we say we are in a vacuum, there is nothing available and all, you will not have all these things. But we have come into the world because the Jagrati, Jagat, when we have come into the Jagat, all these things are available. We are able to get the best out of that through these senses. Paranchikyani Vetaranath. Vetaranath, because it's not, something curse, because why, you are not able to see only outside. Because see, mobile is there. What do you want to do? You take the photograph of whatever good sceneries and other things. But at the same time, wherever you find sort of a very good sculpture or very good, because there a background, then you also want to take your own self. That is selfie, which is available last few years, because of the technology and all. So you are taking the selfie. Selfie is when you are able to see yourself in the background, when you are able to see yourself in whatever is available. So Vyataranat, because when it is able to do everything and all, unless you put the switch on of the selfie of the camera, you will not be able to see. Till then, the camera will take you, everything is what is available in the outside only. The same thing, whatever you hear, whatever you get to speak, whatever you get to smell, whatever you get to feel, everything is happening because the quality of the senses. The senses doesn't have the capacity to do your own selfie, to have the self-reflection. When we say reflection, when we say nitidhyasana, when we say Shravana, Manana, Nitidhyasana, Shravana is whatever here. Manana is, getting into a recording, because your mind, you are able to regurgitate, you are to replay, because like your cassette or CD, you are able to replay. Nitidhyasana is whatever you are playing, because you should be able to, suppose if you are a connoisseur of Carnatic music, you will be able to see, because what are all the syllables that has been used, what are all the swaras that has been used, what is that raga, and because how the swara has to be, because nishada, and because there are three type of nishada, three type of, because everything is there, the details, you are able to enjoy it. But that needs the knowledge. That knowledge helps you to get that particular aspect of it and to get into whatever you are hearing in more detail. Someone is singing and that has been recorded, but you are able to get the same feel with which he has sung. Because when we are able to hear, when a song which is sung with the total bhava, I think you get lost yourself, because your emotions, your mind, your feelings, everything, come together and it takes away. You forget, because the other thing, the music has got a great effect of making you into a sort of a self meditation. If you are knowing everything, and even otherwise, if you don't know, also if you are able to enjoy the music, it will take you to that. So when it is there and all, because it needs a special effort, which is the effort, because then, your mind has to absorb, because you may be hearing 100 different things. You may be going to hundreds of lectures. One or two might have registered in your mind. You might have gone to hundreds of concerts, but you might have because you might be remembering one or two concerts, which you might have enjoyed and all that. Because rest of the things you have got, you heard, and but then, because it's not in getting into your mind, and it's not getting into your memory, and you are not able to recall. When it is there, that is Vyataranath. Vyataranath is something, because it is always being exposed to the outside, it doesn't do. And what is that, because in the senses of thing, it is the mind. That's why we have seen the second chapter and the entire, because the senses are, because very subtle, but the tanmatras are subtler than the senses, and the mind is subtler than the tanmatras, the sapta sparsha rupas gandha, and the intellect is more subtler. Subtler than that is the intellect. Subtler than that intellect, even more subtler than the intellect, what is there? That is the cosmic knowledge. That is the cosmic knowledge, because which is what we call Hiranyagarbha, whatever, because the term that has been used is, that is, beyond the intellect, because when the intellect, you are able to get the subtlety, when you get into the, make it more subtle, and the pinnacle of intellect is, you are able to access. Your antenna gets opened. Your antenna is open, you are able to catch the vibration all around, the environment and all over the sort of atmosphere and all over, because the Akasha, what Akasha is a word used, it's not only the sky, it is all the space, everything and all. From there, whatever vibrations are there, if you go to the interstellar space, there are variety of, because sort of, the sounds, because that has been recorded. If you see the NASA, whatever they are publishing and all, each one of them have got a particular sort of a connotation, because in the connotation is, it means something and all. But if you put them together, and if you put them if you intuitively see, finally it all come to the primordial syllable. But the primordial syllabus broken into the various vibration that is coming. And when you are able to get that, it's the pranava. The pranava, when you got the omkara, once you get it, that's how it comes. So when you get into meditation and when you're getting into the subtler than the senses, that is the tanmatras, even the tanmatras, the saptasparsha, ruparasa, gandha is the more subtle is your mind. The subtler than the mind is the intellect, and even wants to train the intellect, because intellect is depending upon the ability of the people. Each one of us have got a different type of intellect and different type of a field. Because you may be an expert in something, I may not be having the intellectual, because the repository to pursue that, understand that. Whereas, because someone else, may be having a different thing, because I may be having a little whatever, because others may be able to get some of it, some of them, they may not be, it is peculiar to myself, because that's what it happens. So that is why when it collectively comes, the pinnacle of the intellect, in the sense that is what the human being will be able to achieve. Once you get into the subtlety of the intellect, beyond that it goes, that is what the cosmic intelligence, what they call it, Hiranyagarbha, Virat, and whatever you call it, that is that. But once you get subtler than that, once you get into subtler than that, because where you get, the all intuition, everything comes, and all, how it comes? Because the Hiranyagarbha, Virat and all, they are all being, because again manifested by the Prakriti. The Prakriti, because the one, the Sri Tattva, because who is the Mula Prakriti? Who gives the entire ability, because to the entire, who has, even though the world having been created in it, she is the one who is giving all the minerals, wealth, whatever we have. To construct the house, you need the bricks. Bricks come from your mud. Once it comes, because then you will have to wear, because that is shelter. And when you have to food will have to be grown by the ground. Prakriti gives. And when you want clothes, because finally clothes will have to be produced by the cotton, the only Prakriti will give. And you want synthetic and all more, given for that, the petroleum and other minerals will come only from the ground. Prakriti gives. After that, once she gives everything, and then, because she will be, and even you, then after that you get, you got, you are not satisfied with that, you got more sort of a fancy, because your food is in your stomach is satisfied, your body is satisfied, and then, you've got wear good things to wear and all. Now you want more, you want to wear something, more, you have got fantasy, because you want to enjoy the world. Then you want gold, you got platinum, you got rhodium or palladium, everything comes from the earth only, Mula Prakriti. That is more subtler than this. And even above all these things, what is more subtler? That is substance, because everything is, the thing, because then it is the finally one, who is the ultimate Brahman. There is no more subtler than this. The subtlest of all. Because when we are going into this, we are only trying to get into how from the grass and the sort of the grass and in flesh and blood, and because whatever has been God has given to you, we go beyond that. The ability to get into our in self, to get the selfie through the selfie, in the sense, it is reflection. Nitidhyasana, Shravana, Manana is mind, and then when you go to Nitidhyasana, because then it is the intellectual part, and when you go to the Nitidhyasana, finally you get then the intuition. That intuition comes from the cosmic. And when the intuition comes, who gives that intuition? By the grace, because if you are deserving and you got the grace and you get that, that's how it comes. This is what all the philosophy says, irrespective of the fact, whatever is there. Finally, what they say, because finally it is the Prakriti who gives, because Sri Tattva, because she is always in the Shirabdi Sagara, because if Vishnu says, because if Shiva is there and he has already given half of the body to the Parvati. He's like that, because when they are all there, because finally it comes through that. And above all that is the Brahman, Parabrahman. So Parabrahman is the subtlest of all. The selfie, because in the selfie also, you've got a variety of, the development. Finally, when you go, you don't take selfie of only the body, because your Swarupa Jnana you get, and finally through that anyway. This is exactly our Upanishad tries to attempt. This entire concept, though the Upanishad has said in the second chapter and the third chapter of the first Adhyaya, it has all been compressed and given a concise instead of a tablet form in this mantra, Paranchikyani Vataranat Svayambhu. The next mantra, what we have seen is Taspat Parang Pashyati na Antaratman. Tasmat, because once you are able to only go through the Sapsasparsha Ruparasa Gandha, once you are able to see what is obtaining in the world and getting the world and enjoying the world, you are not able to see inside. You are not able to get into your selfie because your camera is only focused outside, and you've been, because earlier, when there is no selfie was there, your cameras were only, you were able to take, because not that so clear pictures. Now the technology has improved. When the technology improved, finally, you got the all the modern technology and well developed, and you are able to take the selfie, you are able to take the video, you are able to take everything, you are able to mix, you are able to post everything, you are able to do. So assuming that you had only, because without selfie when the camera was there, it is like that. So earlier when we had a box camera, you will be able to see only outside, because you will not be able to take, you focus and take yourself. Because then afterwards timer came and all those things, and a little technology was done, and likewise we took it. But then that's not the end of it. When you are taking only the body, and beyond the body, when you have to have the subtle body, when you have to see yourself subtly, because where you are existing beyond your body, where the subtle body, with the, which is represented by the soul and other things, which is remaining all through, because the time immemorial, all through the, it doesn't go off, it doesn't have any death and all, you are not able to see. Tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman. Na pashyati antaratman. That is all. Na pashyati, you will not be able to see that. You will not be able to see the highest Brahman who is beyond that everyone. He is the ultimate truth, reality. When all the philosophies proclaim Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya in Advaita says, and even the Dvaita when it says, it also says Brahma Satyam. Brahma is Satyam, and then it is said that Jagat is not a Mithya, Jagat is a real. Jagat Satyam. That's what it says. When Visishtadvaita says Brahma Satyam, Jagat also is Satyam, but then it interprets the philosophy in such a way that Brahma and the creations, the creations are all part of Brahma. They are not separate. Whereas the Tattvavada says, because the ultimate Brahman is Swatantra, is independent, and you are all dependent, because through that only the Prakriti is there, and from the Prakriti, you get the Hiranyagarbha, because everything comes, you get the intuition, you get, all the worldly things, and finally, because it gets, devolves on that, and you have got the intellect to appreciate, because the goal may be there, unless it is so valuable. You may not be like intellect is there, and from the intellect, it comes to the mind. The mind is one is, because if you have got the knowledge of the good, then you get attracted to good. If you don't have the knowledge, a child will not get attracted. It will get attracted to the good because it is shining. That's all. But it doesn't have the value and all. Likewise, because everything will come. Slowly, more it gets the knowledge, and it will say, I want a chain, I want this and all. Once it goes into a sort of teenager and all, it will have all those things. Likewise, it comes. It is exactly being captured in this mantra. The next word, next sentence of this mantra is Kaschid Diraha. There are only some, because when we are having all these things which is only taking us to outside, what we thought, because the only camera is focusing on the outside, only only few persons, they are able to go to the ultimate selfie. Selfie is only, because you are taking a grass body. If you don't take it, someone else will take a picture and send it to you. Earlier also, because when the camera couldn't take it, someone will take a picture and they will give you a copy. earlier, otherwise, they are sending it through a mobile. So, Kaschid Dhira, someone, Dhiraha in the sense ultimate, is the most evolved. Few, maybe one or few, also out of thousands. Gita says millions of people are trying to do, only few succeed, few, less than few hundred. Out of that few hundred, only few are able to see me. That's what Krishna says. That means, because it's rare of the rarest of the rare. Kaschid Dhiraha Pratyagatman. Pratyagatman in the sense, who is the Paramatman, who is the Antaratma, who is the Brahman, who is residing in your Hritya Akasha also, who is there in the, who is Isavashyam, Idagam Sarvam, is there everywhere. You are not able to get. Once you are able to understand, then only you will be able to see. Once you, the first step, because to be a great person and all those things, once you first have a reflection and know, and once you are able to see what a divinity in you, then you will be able to focus the divinity outside the world and see the divinity in all others. In fact, divinity in all other things. Till such time, you are not able to see the divinity in all others. You will be only seeing the objects. You will become the part of the objects. You will desire for the objects. That is karma. So when that karma says, because that we will come to the next mantra where it says Jagavan, Jagatman, Aishat. Because Aishat in the sense, only few are able to take akshat in the sense, this is few are able to turn themselves into themselves. That is, only few are able to get into that selfie mode. Akshat, kaschid tira, kaschid in the sense, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,000,000, 1 in 1,000,000 or 1 in 1,000,000,000, because they are only able to do that. This is the fact of life. Because it says it's not a simple process. As we said, Sankaracharya said, with a subtle mind and the subtle intellect and the subtle knowledge, you will be able to get it. All appears to be easy. But the mantra says, look, it's not subtle is good, but you will not be able to get it. Avrita Sakshu. Avrita Sakshu in the sense, you are able to get away from the sense objects. See, Avrita Sakshu, because Sakshu takes, because you are able to get into the selfie mode, turning the gaze. Turning the gaze, Avrita Sakshu, Amrutatvam Ichcha. Finally, the liberation, moksham, or because finally evolvement, final human evolvement, what is the purpose for we have come? Till such time, what happens if we don't get it, as the famous song says, ಏಳು ಕಾಯಂಗಳ ಕಂಡು 84 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜೀವರಾಶಿಯನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ ಬಂದ ಈ ಶರೀರ. Till such time, you will have to have rebirth. And depending upon the karma, whether you are going to be reborn as a human being, or you are going to be born something else, or you are going to be a mineral and all, because it's all gone. It's all based on your own destiny, because you are not able to use your faculties, you are not able to use your abilities in this birth. That's what it happens. Is it that, because that means, because what the Vivekananda, when he went to the West, after his famous speech in Chicago, which all, I don't want to repeat it again and all, but then when he founded all the sort of a Vedantic Society of New York and everywhere and all, the first thing, anyone is saying, because he used to start, because finally, if I used to, then finally the purpose is to know yourself, know thyself. Know thyself, because that's what he used to. Why know thyself? Know thyself in the sense, what I talked about selfie, it is what the know thyself. To know, because you know your own greatness, to know your own potential, to know your own, because how far you can, what you have done so far is nothing. You are capable of doing so many things. Maybe it is a million times more than what you have done, or million times what you have got. Your ability is much more. You are not able to know your quality which is inside you. You are a seed. Your seed can go into a tree, but it is goes only as a plant, and then It doesn't grow far. It all depends on you. He waters. He gives you the manure. But then, you will have to access to this sun. You will have to get, you've got the leaves, you will have to get the chlorophyll. You will have to build everything you will have to do. That is up to you. But he doesn't, but he does, he enables you to do everything. A good person, because he will be sattvic, he becomes someone who has been revered by the millions, in his kind, because they become so great masters. But someone, becomes a rogue, because the other side, he is also, his own seed is there. But the God gives the same water. He doesn't give any different water. He gives the same manure. But then because of the innate quality, because he is, the seed doesn't grow, it doesn't vanish, it doesn't sprout. What God can see, because it is up to the seed to do, because we are all seedlings. So we will have to use our things, because to use this particular time, and what is God has given, what the Prakriti has given, what is obtaining in this world, to use ourselves to grow into a huge tree. You could be a Vatavriksha. You would be such a big banyan tree, you can shelter thousands of people. Not only that, you will give fruits and the birds will throng your branches and all. That is a wonderful sight, that you will be enjoying, because you are not only living for yourself, and you are not, because going to blabber, no tree is blabbering or, boasting and all, because nothing, you will have to have that quality also. Likewise, this is exactly is being brought about. So with this, I will just try to give one example. Is it that only in our sort of, the philosophy and in our living, we only talk about why others, they are all, because enjoying, you go to US and you got all the facilities in the world, all the latest things comes, and they have got the scientific development also. Science is going somewhere, and in fact, every year the Nobel Prize is being announced. I think 40 to 50% of the prizes are available to the Americans or those who are settled in United States. They have come for it is like that. But other great institutions, wherever it has been found out, it is there. And then life is, because everywhere, you find a new technology, and people who are used to US, when they come to India, they will certainly will look, because they are not used to some of the problems what we have, and they don't used to our lifestyle and all. But they don't know, because we all still happy. We are all happy to live, because it's, in fact, I don't think anywhere else, the happiness is so available to a person, as in this country, but despite all the obstacles, problems, and whatever you have, so is in so many other countries. If you see, people are always smiling. They don't have any, because Korayondrum Mille, that is the feeling they are exemplifying. What is this, because why it is that? How we are able to be? But some of our, because always been complaining and judgmental look, because no one will do, there is a corruption all around. These fellows will come, eat away the money. No project is done properly and all. Amak Chapara? Oh, no one is bothered. All those things, we will go on complaining, and because then whatever little, we are doing, even that's going waste. This is how we feel. But whereas, because the things are happening, because there is a Pareto principle in the entire nation. Even though the 80 to 90% of the people are only complaining and talking about, the all the ills of their own place, despite that, they have got everything because of others. Even the government tries to do whatever it could. You get all the benefits, and then, because you are also being, because you got a lot of, people who help. Even a plumber, because even at the dead of the night, he comes and attends you. Well, he is doing the service, but he doesn't have to. He can say, because I'm sleeping, I will come in the morning. Sometimes he comes and does. Most of the times, they come and do it. But we have to be grateful to whatever is happening, because for who is helping us. We have to be always, 24/7. We will have to be grateful to what is available to us in this world. what has been given to us by this country, by these people around, wherever you are, irrespective of which country you are in, we'll have to be there. So why, because we are not able to do that, because all these mode of things, because 80-90%, is happening, but it's only 7 to 8% of the people, who do so many things. You get the benefit of the entire thing, and then, because this is what, we get that, because we still complain. That 7 to 8%, they are not complaining. They are just going about doing whatever they are doing, because it is that they are used to. They think, that's their duty to do. They don't complain at all. And they don't complain about themselves and all. That is the attitude, the dispassion we learned about. Dispassion in the sense to be satisfied, and to be satisfied in the sense not to do anything. Because to be satisfied, I have got this much. You maybe got satisfied, but you might have got everything, but you can do so many things to so many people and yourself. Why don't you do that? And when we try to do, because look, I have fulfilled all my responsibilities. I got my children married off. I think I got my children educated. They are all well placed. They are all here, US, Germany, here, and they are all here itself. They are well placed. They are all well settled, and all those things. And then I have looked after my parents, this and that, and we go on doing it. Well, I think it's good that you have done your duty. I think you don't have to gloat about it, and because so many people have done, right from time immemorial, even in this country, so many people have done much better than us. Because that's not in the. We have to do whatever capable, whatever is possible within our strength and control and everything. We should do that. But having done that, I think because okay, this all you have done. Have you given some time to yourself? You got a duty to yourself. What is the duty? The duty to yourself is to go into inside, what is it? Because you have been doing. What is the purpose you have been doing all around? What is, because the great thing, because, okay, you do the duty to others. Your duty is, you have been doing the business, you are in the service, now you are in the this and that and all. But then what is it? Finally, it contributes to you. But I know, because if without complaint, judgment, are you able to live? And without with happiness, are you able to keep yourself in the particular mode, so that you are able to get across to the world with others, as well as you yourself could be a sort of joy personified. Others can approach you and get this and all. See, because that is after all interacting. It's an interdependence, because the entire world is a network. After all, we are not alone. But at the same time, once you reflect, you will try to give some time. You try to understand yourself. I will just, I think, because I will try to show a short video. I think, because where, I think maybe next week, beginning, I will try to show it. Is one of the famous physicists. If you see, all of us are now, because having this session, I'm having a laptop and I will have I'm also having a mobile. I think, a lot of you, you are also having a laptop or mobile and other tablet or whatever you are having. All of them have got a chip. The chip is the one, which is the brain inside. It is the sort of master chip, because that it has got everything, inside. And it gives all the connectivity. And the first person who ever invented the chip, of course, that it was available, designed and made an Intel 4004. First chip came in 1971. The random access memory, because he brought it, and Intel became one of the world famous company, because with a lot of engineers. The person called Federico Faggi. He is an Italian American scientist. He is credited when he is the one, and he also is a venture. He also had his own company, because he produced a lot of chips. He, of course, he was also made a lot of money and other things, and of course, he continuously went on doing so many things and all. And then in all the mobile phones and other things you use, nowadays we are using a touchpad. See, the mobile is, you are able to touch screen is there. The touch screen, he is credited with the touch screen also. First time, he brought it in 1991. The touch screen technology was also brought. Such a famous person. So Federico Faggi, he is a Italian American scientist, because settled in US and basically from Italy. And he has gone through that, and then because having been in the he has written a book on silico so in Italian, and he has written that it is an autobiography of himself, because what has happened and all that. So in that, because he says, because in one of the interviews he says he was going through, and then he was trying to find out, see, what we are having, this consciousness, all these great things, what the philosophy talks, West, East, everywhere and all. He was trying to wonder what is the consciousness. Since he is a computer engineer, he has created the chip and he has created the touchpad and all. He thought, because the computer is also using the hardware, because and brain is also using the hardware, because you got all the synaptic connections, you got the almost billion neurons in the brain. They are all, more you do, because they are all creating a lot of connections. More you are able to read, more you are able to observe. Your brain has got a lot of the new connections are created. More you are able to get a new connection, you becomes, your brain is getting used. But despite the fact, we are all told we are not even using about 10% of our brain, both left and right, because they've got a function, because we are not able to collectively use both, and we are not able to exploit what we are capable of, the capacity of the brain. So he thought, a brain could do, and the consciousness is nothing but, because whatever has been the synaptic network, because which makes us to think, which makes us to do and all. Why can't we, a computer can create a consciousness? He tried to attempt, he went into the network technology. Being a computer scientist, he's already worked on the network technology, and he also went to the neural network. He read a lot of sort of neurologist and psychologist, psychoanalyst, and neurologist come psychologist. A lot of the great masters are there. He read all those books and he said, I will create a computer in which finally we should be able to create a consciousness. What we are talking, the great thing about consciousness, what we are taking, know thyself. So computer will make the know itself, and you are doing the same thing. And what is great, and he started all those things. He almost worked like that for more than a decade. And then I will show you the video as to what happened, one night, because when he was with his family on the night, he was feeling a little restless. So he was trying to get a glass of water, and he got a glass of water. After getting a glass of, just when he was about to go the glass of water, suddenly he got a flash all through, because he lost himself. What is that? He is not able to understand. The moment it happened, I think he was wondering, is he in the world, or is he, because he didn't know where is he there, and he's there in the house, or the family and others, they're all still sleeping, or he has come to, just, it is a flash. That is the moment. It is, because basically he was thinking, why consciousness, we are thinking like that, why it can't. The flash came. It was the moment. The moment, because it came, all his whole outlook changed. From entire 360-degree, it changed. From here to here, it changed overnight. It all went topsy-turvy, because whatever you thought, as a sort of a rationalist, scientist of a highest order who has got the American Prize of Innovation from Obama, and who got the Enrico Fermi Prize from IFS, who has got all these things, and who has invented the first microchip, and who has invented who has rather been credited with this touchpad which we are all using in our mobile phone and tablets and all those things. He's the one, who got all these things. It's all changed overnight. Not overnight, even that 1 second, slit of a second. This is what we have seen in Upanishad. Like a lightning, it all changed. Now he says, then immediately he was telling, because then there was an urge that I should know myself. I should know myself. There is nothing more than that. Why I should know myself? Because that is the final thing, because I should be able to, it's not that whatever I'm getting through the knowledge and all, it's not the final thing. I should be able to, I can't, because consciousness, being attempting to create a consciousness through the computer or machine and all, what a silly idea it is, because it all happened to him. Then he said, look, because the longing has become so powerful, he just, because got into that, because then he was trying to find, because he has written all those things in this book called Silicon. Silicon is the material, we all know the chips are being made of. The silicon wafers are being used to make the chips. Even silicon wafers are used to make the solar panels, because it has got the capacity to absorb the sunlight. The sunlight, because like leaves absorbing and creating chlorophyll. If sunlight has to be absorbed, silicon has got the capacity to do it, because silicon wafers, very thin wafers of the very molecular, to closer to the atomic level, they will be able to do that. And then he has written that book, and then it changed. Know thyself. Knowing myself has become a motto. It is like getting into the highest selfie. What Gita has said, billions attempt, only few succeed. Afterwards, only very few. You can count in the number. They only get to see me when he said the same thing he understood overnight in the 1 second. So when he is a person of such a scientific background, and who has been all through and been putting himself into that, when he got that, then he says, because it's all done. And he says, now he is making an attempt, the scientific knowledge and the philosophical knowledge, he's trying to bring in some sort of a correlation. And he says, it's nothing but, it is a sort of, because it's two sides of the same coin. But we are not able to see the other side of the coin. If you are a coin, you are not able to see your other side. The other side will not be able to see it, because they are two sides of the coin. Because we say, Brahman is inside, we are not able to see, because we are the coin, but we are only able to see the other side, where whatever is available to this outworld. This is what the beautifully told by him. And it was such a wonderful, and I will share, the couple of his talks, because a couple of what he shared. So to bring in the points, how Upanishad has brought in this concept several thousand years ago, very sort of effortlessly, through, I think, the way the teaching that has been done, they have, the Upanishad has considered herself as a preschooler, and then we are in a UKG, LKG, and it has brought us to the level, at least, and now it is for us to go further. So this is what has been brought, and such a wonderful journey. I never thought, because the Upanishad, the greatness of the Upanishad has been felt by such a great scientist like Federico Faggi, and I will also try to share, because a couple of his videos next month. And second mantra, I will just recite, and we will go into the details of it next week. Second mantra is your page 87 of the document I have said. It is how the mind's thirst for the, because Shreyas and prayers we have seen. Shreyas is the mind, when you want to get into the selfie mode, you will be able to get into the highest, the pinnacle of a selfie, when it develops into the highest possible level, it can reach. And whereas praise is the one highest possible pleasure, whether it is pleasurable or preferable. This is what, we have seen in the second chapter of first adhyaya. The same thing has been brought in second mantra of second adhyaya. I will just recite. We will go into the detail next week because we have started a little late, and then we will try to go. Parachaha kaman anuyanti balaha. Parachaha kaman anuyanti balaha. See the external parachaha, because we said paranchi. We saw in the previous one. He says paracha kaman anuyanti balaha, because the one external pressure which makes us happy, the Upanishad gives such a pejorative terms. He says external pressures are pursued by children. Bala, immature, you are yet to develop. You have got to miles to go. You are still into same part. Paraja Kaman, Anuyanti Bala. This is what exactly he said. This is what we are going to see next, because it says, Bala, you are all child and you still, you are only talking about, because how am I to get this and how am I to get a better car and how am I to go abroad and how am I to go to the places of joy, I should go to the destinations in summer, because how I should have air condition, all the facilities, looking for the comfort. When you are having all these things, it says you are child. You are not grown. Whether we want to be sort of a child in this birth, or whether we have to use the faculties given to us and the way shown by our masters to be someone in the adult in the Upanishadic terms, that's what we are going to see in the next verse. This is why I only read the first half of the mantra. We will go to the next week. With this, I will conclude today's session. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahaihi, tejasvinavadidamastu ma vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Because of the time elapsed, we will also have the meditation next week. This week we will conclude with this. Thank you. Thank you very much, one and all. Thank you very much, Prabhuda. Thank you very much, Krishna sir. Thank you very much, Madam and all. Thank you. So, Krishna sir, how is Ganesh Puja in your area?